The air here is not meant for breathing. It cuts, it burns, it stills the lungs. At minus 65 degrees Celsius, even sound seems to freeze midair. The snow doesn't fall like flakes. It drifts like shards of glass, whispering across a white horizon that hasn't known warmth for months. This is the Yakutian wilderness, deep in the Siberian taiga, a world sealed in ice, where engines are never turned off, and tears can crystallize before they touch the ground. The sun, when it appears, offers light, but not heat. Life here does not move fast. It moves carefully. For the next 24 hours, we follow the quiet rhythm of survival in Oymyakon, one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth. Here, every breath is a small victory against a landscape that wants nothing more than silence. Before dawn, the village sleeps under a blanket of frost so thick it muffles the world. Wooden houses groan as the cold tightens their seams inside. Families stir to the faint crackle of firewood, a sound older than language, a heartbeat of warmth in the void. Outside, a man named Sergei steps into the dark. His eyelashes are already white. The thermometer nailed to his wooden wall reads minus 65 degrees Celsius. He squints at it, not in disbelief, but in respect. For him, this isn't weather, it's the law of existence. Sergei's reindeer snort in the distance, their breaths rising in plumes of steam. Each morning begins the same way. Check the animals, clear the ice from the troughs, and feed them before the frost deepens. The hay crackles as he spreads it brittle, like old paper. His hands, wrapped in thick fur, move slowly. Haste means mistakes, and mistakes mean frostbite. He looks toward the rising sun, a dull, pale disk behind clouds of frozen mist. It offers no comfort, only the promise of visibility. In Oymyakon, survival begins with motion. To stop moving is to surrender. By mid-morning, the temperature has climbed, if such a word can be used, to minus 58 degrees Celsius. Sergei loads his sled. The wood creaks under the strain of the cold. Today, he must travel 20 kilometers across the tundra to trade meat for fuel. A simple exchange, but in this land, every errand is an expedition. The reindeer snort, stamping their hooves. They too feel the cold, but they are built for this. Their fur so dense it traps warmth like armor. Sergei clicks his tongue, and the sled jerks forward. The journey begins in silence. Only the faint scraping of runners on ice breaks the stillness. Snow sparkles like powdered diamond under the pale light. Occasionally, a distant crack echoes the sound of a river shifting beneath its frozen skin. He knows this path by memory. Each bend in the valley, each line of trees is etched into his mind. But the land is deceptive. A sudden wind can erase everything in seconds, turning familiar routes into blank pages of white. By noon, the cold begins to bite through layers of fur. His breath forms a halo around his face. The ice crystals in his beard glitter like silver dust. His thoughts grow slow. Out here, time loses meaning. The only measure is distance, and the hope of returning home before the world goes dark again. A few kilometers away, Anastasia, Sergei's wife, tends to the house and children. The walls tremble slightly as she stokes the fire. She wipes frost from the inside of the window, and looks out at the endless white. In this village, women are the quiet defenders of warmth. They keep the fire alive, dry clothes by the stove, and melt snow for water. Every task takes twice as long in the cold. Metal spoons cling to fingers. Bread turns to stone within minutes if left uncovered. Outside, a neighbor chops wood. The rhythm is slow but steady, every strike calculated, the sound echoing across the frozen valley. Wood is life here. Without it, there is no heat, no cooking, no survival. In Oymyakon, people measure wealth, not in money, but in firewood. At the same time, Sergei spots movement on the horizon. Faint, fleeting. A wild hare darts across the snow. He halts the sled, raising his rifle carefully. Every shot counts. Ammunition is precious, and the silence after a missed shot is heavier than regret. He exhales slowly, squeezes the trigger. The crack echoes into nothingness. Moments later, he walks toward the motionless shape on the snow. Tonight, there will be meat. A small victory, but victories here are never small. The sun fades early, as if exhausted. The sky turns the color of bruised steel. Sergei turns his sled homeward. His face is hidden behind layers of frost. Only his eyes remain uncovered, unblinking in the biting air. Wind begins to rise. It moves like a living thing, swirling the snow into blinding waves. Soon, the familiar landmarks are gone. The world is erased in white. The reindeer lower their heads, pushing forward through resistance that feels endless. Sergei knows the danger. A wrong turn can mean death. In this storm, even shouting is useless. The wind swallows sound. He leans close to the animals, trusting their instinct. They have walked this path longer than he has lived. For an hour, the storm rages. Then, as abruptly as it came, it ends. The air clears, and the village lights appear, small flickers of gold in an ocean of darkness. When he arrives home, his wife opens the wooden door, releasing a rush of warm air and the scent of smoke. He steps inside, silent, the rifle and sled left outside. The children look up from the fire, eyes bright. He nods once, the universal sign that the day has been survived. By night, the temperature falls again. Minus 66 degrees Celsius, the world outside is motionless. The stars are sharp, like nails in a black sky. The only sound is the distant howling of a dog, echoing across the valley. Inside, the small home is alive with warmth. Water simmers on the stove. Steam gathers on the ceiling beams. Sergei sits by the fire, mending a torn glove. Anastasia hums softly, an old Yakut song about endurance and the spirits of the frozen land. In this quiet, there is peace, but also the knowledge that tomorrow will demand the same fight. Out here, survival isn't a story of triumph. It's repetition, patience, and respect for a world that never forgives arrogance. Beyond the village, the wilderness stretches endlessly. The trees stand frozen in perfect stillness. Somewhere, wolves move through the snow, following invisible trails. Above, the aurora drifts green and silent, a reminder that even in the harshest places, beauty persists. Just before midnight, the quiet breaks. A villager's cry pierces the stillness. One of the herders has not returned. His snowmobile was last seen heading toward the upper ridge before the storm. Within minutes, Sergei and 2 others are outside again. They move quickly, lanterns glowing like fireflies against the white expanse. The wind claws at their faces. They follow faint tracks that vanish every few meters. At these temperatures, exposed skin freezes in seconds. The men don't speak. Every breath hurts. After an hour, they spot something in the dark, the faint shape of a snowmobile half buried in drift. Nearby lies a figure, motionless. Sergei kneels beside him, brushing frost from the man's coat. The pulse is weak, but there, they drag him onto the sled, wrapping him in reindeer fur, and race back toward the village. The lantern light flickers across their faces hardened by years of this ritual. When they reach home, others rush to help. Blankets, fire, tea, warmth is the medicine of this land. The man will live, barely. For the people of Oymyakon, saving a life is not heroism, it is duty, because here, they only survive together. As the final hours of night pass, the village returns to stillness. Fires burn low. Outside, the thermometer has dropped again. Minus 67 degrees Celsius, the ground is so cold it hums. Sergei steps out one last time, his breath rising in silver clouds. He looks toward the horizon, the same endless white he has known all his life. It is both enemy and home. He knows this cold will never change. It will take his strength, his youth, his years, but it will also give him clarity. Out here, there are no illusions. Only the truth of survival, written each day in frost and fire. The first light of dawn spills over the frozen trees. Another day begins. The smoke rises once again from chimneys, defying the cold with quiet persistence. In the world's coldest land, survival is not an act of defiance. It is a way of life.